Okay, any questions from 30, 31, 32? Any of those that you would like to see? Sure. Okay, 31 says, I'm guessing it's Sean, buys candy that costs $7 per pound. He will buy at most 10 pounds of candy. What are the possible amounts he will spend on candy? This is 31. Then it says use C for the amount of candy in dollars. The dollars he spends on candy. And then write your answer as an inequality solved for C. So let's just use an example of a number. Let's say that he goes in and he buys, or he spends, $12 on candy. If he spends $12 on candy, how could we figure out how much candy he got? We would divide it by 7. The candy costs $7 a pound. So if I were to do, this is sort of my example to think about it. If he spent $12 on candy, and I were to take 12 and I would divide by 7, this would tell me how many pounds he bought, right? And they tell us that there is a cap on how many pounds he will purchase. What is the maximum amount of pounds he'll purchase according to the problem? 10 pounds. So we know that this is a maxed, or it's capped at 10 pounds. Maximum of 10 pounds. So we don't actually have this 12. That was a made-up number. We have C. So our C should then be divided by 7. And is at most, it's less than or equal to 10. Does that make sense? And then it says to solve this, right, for C. So if I solve this for C, I would multiply them by 7. So C is at most 70, and it's actually in dollars because this is the candy amount in dollars. So he's going to spend at most $70. It's a lot of money on candy. A lot of money. That's what it would look like. Does anyone want to see 30 or 32? $32? All right. All right, we have V plus 3, and it's less than 4. And it says to graph the solution on the number line. So if you'll remember, this is a less than, which is an and statement, inequality. So an and statement inequality means that I have a triple inequality when I'm done. Half of the inequality, that is, this half looks exactly like the first piece I was given, just without the absolute values. And then the other half has the -4 on the left-hand side. So we're going to solve this. We are going to take each piece and do it 3 times. So I need to subtract 3, so now I have -7 is less than V is less than 1. And then now that I have that, I'm able to graph it on the number line. So -7 is over here, 1 is over here, and I'm supposed to shade between. And because these do not have equal signs, they are parentheses. Or you can use open circles if you're using that notation. Okay, so no one wants to see 30. We're good with that one. All right, if you will grab out your exam 3 actual exam. And we're just going to go through a few questions at a time, and I'm just going to say, does anyone want to see any of those problems? And if you do, from your exam, you're going to have to read it to me because I didn't grab mine from my office. At least I don't think that I did. Double check one more time. I don't have it. All right, so anything from questions 1 through 4 that you would like to take a look at from your actual exam? Exam 3, questions 1 through 4. Okay, how about questions, we'll just take them 4 at a time, 5 through 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. 7, okay. So Jonah, read me number 7, and we'll see as you read if I can put down the pertinent details, because this is a rectangle one, right? Okay, so it's... Because the length is 4 times the width, and the perimeter is what? 50 inches, okay. And what are we supposed to find? Find length and width. Cool. Okay, so those are the details that we need. So again, we've done problems like this, earlier on. We've also done systems of equations at the very end here, and you could do this problem either way. Since we did this earlier on with one variable, I'm going to show you how to do it that way. Obviously, in terms of a picture, it might be helpful to draw, so let's check that out first. So here's my rectangle. I have my length and I have my width, and there's a relationship about perimeter that says that 2 times the width plus 2 times the length is the perimeter. And I'm told this very helpful statement right here is that the length is 4 times the width. So that means this is actually the relationship that I have. So in terms of my equation, my perimeter is actually 2 times the width plus 2 times 4 times my width. And that's really useful information over here. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Because I know my perimeter, and my perimeter is 50. So this is 2W plus 8W, or 50 equals 10W. So what is W? 5. And if W is 5, and the length is 4 times W, what is the length? If the width is 5, and the length, yeah, we get 20. And we want to put units on them. It said inches up here, right? So we've got that the width is 5 inches, and the length is 20 inches. And if you want to sort of mentally check to make sure that makes sense, we're saying that this is 20, this is 20, this is 5, and this is 5. And the question you would sort of ask yourself is, do those really all add up to 50 for the perimeter? And they do. So we've done the problem correctly. Is that okay, Jonah? Okay. What else? Five, 6, or 8? Okay, how about 9, 10, 11, or 12? That spans several pages. 11 and 12 are graphs. 9 and 10 are word problems. Sure, can you read me what your 10 says?
Sale price for a desk is $188. A certain furniture store marks up the wholesale price by 39%. Find the price of the desk in the furniture store.
Okay. Did I get those details right? The wholesale was $288?
$188.
$188. Okay, sorry about that. And then the markup is 39%. And it asks for the total sales price? Okay, so the basic idea is that when somebody purchases something to resell it, they have to increase the price or they don't make any profit, right? This is how you go into the store and Kohl's or Walmart or whoever that you're buying something from actually turns a profit. They didn't make the item, right? But they purchased it from someone else to resell it. So wholesale is what they purchased the item at, and then the sales price is what they're selling it to you for. And then when they offer sales and things like that, they usually don't mark their sales down below their wholesale or they're still not going to make any money on the product. So we want to figure out what the new price is, and we need to know what the increase is that they're making on the product. What is their take when you go into Walmart or whatever to purchase it? So this is a problem that is a percentage problem. We talked about these last time. I have 100%. And I'm trying to find what 39% is. So this is half of my problem, the proportion. The other side is the sales price and the wholesale price. So the wholesale price is the whole amount. It's 188. Okay, so it's the denominator. What we're trying to find out is what would be the markup. How much money would be the markup? I know the percentage of the markup is 39, but how much money is the markup? So that's what I don't know. In particular, the original price is 100%, and then the 39 is the markup to find the new sales price. So those correspond in the numerator and the denominator. If I cross multiply, I'll have 100x equals. So somebody grab your calculator for me. What is 188 times 39? Okay. Did I get it written right, Keely? 7332? Yes. Okay, cool. And then I would divide by 100. So my markup amount is actually $73.32. So when Walmart sells me this desk or whatever, they make $73 bucks on it, okay? But that's not what I pay, right? They asked to know what the total sales price is. So if they ask the total sales price, I'm going to need to add the original price, which was the 188, plus the markup, which is $73.32. And this would be the sticker price on the shelf. So what happens when I add these together? I think you might have multiplied. Try again. 261.32. Good. That'd be a really expensive desk. This is already a lot of money, right? $261. But yeah, it's $261.32. Do you want to pay $7,000 for a desk? I don't. Not today. All right, is that good, Trey? Cool. Okay, anything else from 9, 10, 11, 12? Okay, how about 13, 14, 15, 16? 14. Okay, what does your 14 say, Megan?
Consider the line y equals negative 4 over 9x plus 2. And then it's find the line that's parallel to the point negative 4, negative 2, and find the equation that's perpendicular to the same point.
Okay, what was our point?
Negative 4, negative 2.
Okay, so we're finding a parallel line, and then we're going to find a perpendicular line, all right? All right, so the first thing is to recognize what my slope is. This one's very nicely already solved for you for y, isn't it? On your version of the test anyway. I don't know if it was on both versions. What's the slope for this line that I'm given? Yeah, it's negative 4 over 9. So when I'm finding my parallel slope, it'll be the same. And if I want my perpendicular slope, what will it be when I've got an original slope of negative 4 over 9? Do you remember how the perpendicular slope's related? It would be 9 over 4, right? Signs change, and I flip my fraction, or I reciprocate, right? I do a reciprocal. So as I take my y equal mx plus b, I know that y is equal to negative 4/9 x plus b, and I need to find b. Using it goes through this point. So it goes through negative 4, negative 2. So this is the negative 2, and this would be negative 4. Going to have to deal with fractions. So I've got negative 2 equals 16 over 9 plus b. And I would need to subtract the 16 over 9 to the other side. So I need -2 written as a fraction out of 9, so that would be -18 over 8 over 9. There we go. Just need to multiply it by 9 over 9, right? Minus 16 over 9. So what is 18? -18 minus 16. Just subtraction, 18 and 16. What do you get? -34, right. So my equation, which I almost had right here, is -4/9 y equals -4/9 x minus 34/9. For perpendicular, I would have y equals 9/4 x plus b. Same ordered pair, so -2, -4, but this one actually is nicer because the value will cancel with the denominator, right? This 4 and this 4 cancel. So I end up with -2 equals 9 plus b. And if I subtract 9, what will b equal? -11, yep. So my equation then from here is y equals 9/4 x minus 11. Is that okay, Megan? Anything else in that problem set 13 through 16? If you have the other version of the test and you want to see 14, I'll do that too. I mean, it's just because she asked that and you have the other test, that's fine. But okay, how about then 17, 18, 19, 20? Yes, 19. Okay, what does your 19 say, Devin?
X squared minus 8x plus 9.
Minus 9
Yeah, or plus 9.
plus 9 equals 0?
Yeah.
Okay, and your directions say to complete the square?
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, to complete the square, what we do is we leave the values that have x in them on the one side, and we move the other value to the other side. So in this case, that would be the 9. Okay, so that's the first step. Then we take the linear term, that's the term that's multiplied by x, and we take its coefficient, and we divide it by 2 and square it. So what is -8 divided by 2 squared? 16. And then that 16 will go in the blank spot I left here, but it also has to be added to the other side. Okay, so I end up with x squared minus 8x, whoops, left out the x, plus 16 equals 7. And I would want to factor the x squared minus 8x plus 16, but the beautiful thing is that because we completed the square to get that polynomial, it will always factor as x at the beginning, and this part right here would be the divided by 2 part, so it's just -4, all squared. Always going to do that. Always, always. Or you can think of it as being the square root of the second number, the number you added. Square root of 16, that's 4. The sign still has to match what's in the middle, though. Okay, and then after completing the square, I mean, that's what we've done now. We're trying to solve it still. So this would be like part where it says the form part, and then where it says solution. The way that we get the solution is we undo the operations. So there's a square operation, so I'm going to square root. That's going to give me x minus 4 on the left, and it's going to give me plus or minus square root 7 on the right. And then I'm going to add 4. And you can't add 4 to the actual 7 underneath the radical. The best you can do is either to put it at the beginning and say 4 plus or minus square root of 7, Or you could say plus or minus square root of 7, like that, and then plus 4. Okay, I tend to prefer this option right here at the beginning because I don't want you to accidentally make the 4 underneath the radical. Is that okay, Devin? Okay. 17 through 20. Any others of those? Okay, how about 21 to 24? Understand our mistakes, don't need to see any of those. Okay. 25 to 28.
Can we do 25?
Sure. Oops. All right, Connor, what does your 25 say?
-6 and then absolute value with a y and then equals -30.
Okay, did I get it written right?
Yeah.
Fabulous. Okay, so whenever we're dealing with either radicals or absolute values, we want to isolate the radical or their absolute value. So we want the absolute value of y here to be alone, which means the first thing to do is to divide by this -6 to move it. So this eliminates the -6, and I just have the absolute value y on the left. What is -30 divided by -6? Yeah, that's just 5. Okay, so once I have it in this form, no matter what's inside of the absolute value, then I'm able to set things equal to the other pieces. So there's two options. Either I would have the y value equal to exactly what's already here, 5, or I would have the y value inside here equal to the opposite, which would be -5. Now remember, the reason that happens is because if I were to plug the -5 back into the absolute value, the negative would go away. Okay, so that's an actual option. Remember, absolute value means distance. The distance could be from -5 back to 0 or from +5 to 0, and I'd still have a distance of 5. So I end up with two answers. Y is 5 or y is -5. Any others? 25 to 28. All right, how about 29 to 32 then? The last 4 on the test. Okay, and we'll stop there today. So next time, what I need you to do is to bring with you your exam 4, okay? If I have the exam 4 redos back from the grader, we'll start with the redo version, just like we did from exam 3. If I don't, then we'll start with the actual exam copies that you've already done from exam 4.